Farrah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, if you can't see it, let me explain it to you. It's a smile. It goes ear to ear. And I really look weird when I smile because I don't have lips. I don't. It's true. It was on YouTube. You'll be able to confirm that. But it's October. And for starters, I will say October is one of my favorite 12 months of the year. But then again, every month is a favorite month for me when it comes to sports because I'm one of those who absolutely will not deal with dog days. I will not handle someone telling me there's nothing going on. There's always something happening. Months are better than others. October, spectacular. Absolutely freaking sensational. Okay? NFL, we start week 5. College football, we're deep into conference play. The professional baseball playoffs well underway. How about the pitcher duels in 3 out of the 4 games yesterday? 2-1, 3-1, 3-1. And then at night, the Dodgers just absolutely blew them out. I mean, no question about that. But again, 3 out of the 4 had kind of that old school feel to it. Cleveland does even things up at 1 apiece today. So we're going to get a third and final game there. And right now at Wrigley, let's check the inning. It's the 9th. Okay, so a lot of those fans left, in the 7th when the beer sales go. Don't ever compare Chicago fans to Boston fans when it comes to fandom, when it comes to the seriousness of fandom. Okay, because I lived in both cities, 18 years in Boston, 7 years in Chicago. I will say this, Chicago has some of the most wonderful people I have ever met. The biggest, 2x4 slap to the forehead I ever received was when I was 18 years of age and I went from Boston to Tallahassee. I could not believe how nice the individuals were. Okay, I think it was Southern Belle. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I know it was Southern. Well, that's changed. Ever since then, there's been millions and millions like me who come from other parts of the country, and they come here to our great state, and they're not nice. Where I come from, we're angry people, okay? You're angry, and then you're satisfied. You're really never happy if you come from Boston, and I can say that because I'm one of them. But too many of us have now polluted this great state, and I'm one of yours now. I saw Boston in the rear view. All right, I was 18. I just said, I'm out of here. Okay, take your politics, take your Taxachusetts, take your third world city, one that can never win a championship outside of the Celtics while I was there, and you can have it. When I went to Chicago, wow. I mean, friendly, hugs, tongues in the ear. I mean, you name it, and it happened. And the difference there is that Wrigley beer sales done at the 7th, they're going to go to the Cubby Bear. They're going to leave, and they're going to go to one of those bars where, if the Red Sox lose tonight, there'll be folks threatening to jump off bridges. If they lose tomorrow, they will. They actually will make that leap. So it's a big difference. But for sports fans, you want that respect, right? You want your team to fall into the category of respect. And there's only a few that honestly do year in, year out. The Jacksonville Jaguars are so far out of that particular label. It's really a shame. We've seen it forever. There are exceptions, and a lot of them join us here on our radio station, Pete Prisco among them, okay? But the national media does not like to deal with Jacksonville. We are an inconvenience to the national media. And, my comparison has always been like whether you're going to Hoover, Alabama, or you're going to Atlanta, you're covering the SEC, and someone says to you, okay, can you do a report for us on Mississippi State? And it's like, really? Do I have to do it? That's the way the NFL treats Jacksonville. All of a sudden, with a 3-1 record and one awful call away from a 4-0, and you can make that claim right there. If that game was in Jacksonville, not Cincinnati, if that was game 12, not game 2, if Travis Hunter was off to a phenomenal start, would he have gotten the call that he should have received? Instead, the Jordan rules did not apply in game 2 for Travis Hunter, and it was a bogus call. Okay, for those who forget, you can make contact with a receiver, with a running back, as long as you turn your head. And he did turn his head. College football, it's a totally different animal. This ain't college. This is the NFL. We're starting to see the respect thing build a little bit here in town. 12 in some of these power rankings. I really don't spend a lot of time digesting power rankings. I look more at the division. I look more at the conference. I look much more at what's ahead. And, you know, as a contradiction, I am totally opposite of that when it comes to college football and looking at the rankings. That's a different animal, albeit that's changed a little bit. And Lane Kiffin today was brilliant. He was spot on. Okay, the days of dynasties are well removed in college football. And he said that they are over. He said that they are over in the SEC. The NIL and the transfer portal has affected that. I really believe this. Okay, I just said there are no dog days, and there's never a situation where you can come out and say there's nothing happening, right? If that's you and that is your profession, no matter what it is, okay, and you have that attitude, you probably ought to go somewhere else. And that applies for what we do here, talking sports, 52 weeks a year. There's no question about it. But if you look at where college football is, don't bite that hand, Ballou. Don't bite that hand. It's not what it once was. You know, it's not. I mean, we saw it. Again, we've seen it recently in college basketball. Gators won a title. That's all that matters. You're proud as a pig, and you know what about winning a national title. But it's not like the 04s. It's not like watching these kids you recruit and develop and you watch get better, win. No matter who wins the national championship this year in college football, it's not going to have the same feeling for any one of these schools when you watched them. Look at the Miami Hurricanes, 5 national titles. Look at how they won those national titles. Look at the homegrown talent and the development of those players. Look at the top teams in college football right now. What do they all have in common? For the most part, a transfer at quarterback. A transfer at quarterback won the national title a year ago for Ohio State. He had, a heck of a career at Kansas State. So I think we're in an era where it's much more about the front of the jersey than the name on the back. I think the names now are just going to come and go and come and go and come and go. It's still as important for the university, for the team, right? And I think that is where college football and college basketball is. Your love, idolizing individual players. There's not a Tim Tebow in Florida right now. There's not a Percy Harvin in Florida right now. There's not a Charlie Ward or a Warwick Dunn in Tallahassee right now. There's not a, Gunnar Stockton is homegrown. Okay, we'll give you that with Gunnar, but come on. Compared to the Eric Zayers and the Buck Balloos and the Herschel. No. So it's the era. You got to change with it. But it is also, unfortunately, in my opinion, taken away from really the greatest part of being a college football fan, okay? That is, you are so invested in your program. You're so invested in recruiting and understanding your 85-man roster. Who's a senior? Who's a junior who could leave early to the NFL draft? The sophomores that you're grooming, the freshmen, the redshirt freshmen. It's knowing everything, where they're from, what they did, and the possibility of them coming up and replacing those who are getting ready to either graduate or, again, leave. I feel bad for you that you can no longer do that. Now it's like, whoa. I mean, the NFL we accepted. We've accepted it forever. I remember I had unofficially the Jaguars with 54 new faces on their 90-man roster back during training camp at the Miller Electric Center. 54 out of 90. Right now, I want to say they have 27 or 28 new players on their 53-man roster. That's pro football. We have become so used to that, and that's been going on really for, decades. The new twist in college football is going to work with parity, because that's the other part of this equation. Ask yourself 1 month into the season, who really is the most dominant team in college football? Who's the best team right now in college football? Dylan, 4 or 5 weeks in, who do you have?
Jeez. If I had to say one, it probably might be Miami.
Okay. Very good. Miami has not left home. They will go to Tallahassee. They don't leave the state for another month. Their first road game is November 2nd. They have a very kind schedule, and they're coming off a bye. But if we were sitting in a bar and we went to the person next to you, why do I have a feeling they'd tell us it's Ohio State, it's Oregon, it's Texas. Yeah, they struggled at Ohio State. It's Alabama with their emergence this past weekend in Georgia. It's Georgia. Georgia let one get away. So that's like the NFL. And a lot of people love that, okay? I don't. I don't. I'm about heavyweights. I'm about dynasties. I'm about the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. I want there to be bottom feeders. I want them to be teams that if you knock them off, it is like a monumental event. You got to be kidding me. Alabama went into Georgia and won. Indiana put up, 52 against Illinois? I can't believe I just wasted time talking about high noon Pam Ward calls on the Big Ten, but I did. That's college football. So just wanted to get that off my chest, and I know it's still as important for you in your school, but you lose the people that you love and you watch them develop. You don't bring them along from their freshman year up. And, can you outpay the other guy? You heard Tim Brando's rant last week. He lost his mind. Timmy will join us tomorrow. You spend $28 million at Texas Tech, and people are going crazy about that. Texas Tech can't spend $28 million. Texas Tech's not a blue blood. How dare they outspend Texas? How dare they outspend Texas A&M? You expect those schools to outspend. But it's the changing of the guard. And again, tell me as we get things started here at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Who's really the best team in college football? We're not even in years past. You knew. That's my point. In years past, you knew. Okay, you go through that USC era, and Texas got them, and around here, there's been times where Miami, Florida State, Florida, they've all been the most dominant team. Georgia, the last several years. Hell, Alabama won 6 national titles with Nick Saban. Those great years for Dabo Swinney and Clemson. Then every once in a while, LSU gets it done. Tennessee gets it done. Auburn gets it done, or it gets to the national title game. And nowadays, it's like an NFL. These lines are going to be 3 points or less. It's good for the competitive nature of the game, but again, I miss dynasties. I miss great teams. These are not great teams. And, Michigan 2 years ago, Ohio State last year, and whoever gets there this year, there's no way that they could beat college football national titles, let's say, of the 3 or 4 years prior to that. Let's begin with LSU. It's not even close. And the same is in college basketball. It's not even close. You think Florida's team would have beaten the 04s? Not even close. Okay? And, So that's where we are. But, some like it more than others. I happen to not be a big fan of it. I tell you what I am a big fan of. That is Shmunez Vision. Let me ask you straight up because I don't know. What is a surgery counselor? I'll tell you what a surgery counselor is. Someone that really pushes a pen, right? And can you imagine going into a practice being told that you need eye surgery? And then you want to fire back and be like, okay, doc, what's it? Oh, no, I have another patient. Walk down the hall there, take a right. Yeah, go talk with our surgery counselor. He or she's going to tell you all about surgery. And you're like, well, aren't you performing the surgery? I would rather I got to go. I got to see another patient. I got to make more cash. Okay? That's not the deal at Shmunez Vision. It's Dr. Neil Shmunez. It's Dr. Catherine Shmunez. It's Dr. John Hunt. Those are the three folks, okay? Those are the experts. Those are the doctors. More than 37 years worth of experience. If you have surgery, whether it's one that you elect to have, okay, such as laser eye surgery, or it's something far more serious like cataract surgery or refractive surgery, they are going to be the people who examine you, and they are going to sit with you and answer all of your questions, all of your concerns, and then they will perform the surgery. So it's another reason why Shmunez Vision is there. And again, their biggest point, they're always trying to create the most value for your money. Check them out online. Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and see them at Shmunez Vision. Philly Godfather is coming up at 6:33. John Osher at 7. We got a ton to do alongside Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou.
Bone crunching, field flipping, game-changing plays. After the game, catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game on 1010XL.
Hacker here, and it's time to kick off your weight loss season now with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Want to be down 30 pounds or more by the bye week? What about 80 pounds by the playoffs? The best part about Awaken 180, you can lose weight while tailgating and drinking your favorite beverage. Swap calories, not flavor. And you don't even have to sacrifice your favorites like chili, wings, dip. You can still enjoy all of them and lose weight consistently. Look, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I've ever been on. I lost over 100 pounds thanks to the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If it's time for you to drop the weight like it was for me without sacrificing all those football season favorites, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. 30 pounds by the bye, 80 pounds by the playoffs. You can do it. I did. You can too with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Celebrate every score for Duval's favorite home team this season at One Night Taco Stand. Enjoy $3.99 margaritas, and when the home team scores, free tequila shots. Dine in only during the game. Don't miss Taco Tuesday, daily lunch specials, and Top Shelf Friday. Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows. One Night Taco Stand, where tacos, tequila, and touchdowns come together.
The calls have been pouring in.
It's the strongest phone connection on the First Coast. The Checkmate Coatings phone line covers you with expert interviews from around the country and your opinions and comments from here at home. All day, every day on 1010XL.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com.
Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville, it's game time. And just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long. We've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Ballou here for Spunez Vision. Why Spunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Spunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Spunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Spunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SpunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Bottom of the first inning, Ben Rice. Do not make a mistake to Ben Rice, especially middle end. Boston just did that 2-0 bad guys early. What a throw last night, Dylan. Crochet, 7 2/3. Chapman comes in, gets 4 outs, loads the bases with nobody out, and he was able to get out of it for Boston.
1-2-3, Giancarlo Stanton was the fourth guy. He went out, and as the next two Yankees, that was incredible theater.
Really was. It felt a little old school. To me, and the nerves were, running rampant. And this is rivalry week. I got Boston, New York, and then on Saturday, Miami visiting Tallahassee. So it's going to be really the testing of the nerves. These series are all getting evened at 1. Again, the Cleveland Guardians, a 6-1 winner today against Detroit, so that's even. Padres go into Chicago and win 3-0, so that's even at 1. Again, Yankees up early here, 2-0, bottom of the first against Boston. They even up that series at 1 apiece. Tonight, the Reds will visit the Dodgers, game 2 there at Chavez Ravine. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at Alexander Law Practice. We will get there momentarily, but I look at what is most important now for Jacksonville with more than a real puncher's chance, okay? There are many people out there who believe Jacksonville's going to win this game. Kansas City was hurt early. They are getting healthy. That includes Worthy, who came back last week, 5 receptions, 83 yards, the right shoulder problem that, cost him a couple of games. They still really do struggle to run the football, albeit it's kind of a timely fashion for them. They do have some big runs. They are able to pick up some first downs. But if you're just looking at Kansas City coming in here, Pacheco and Hunt and expecting them to run 32 times, 33 times, that's not going to happen. This is still a franchise that is going to pass the football right at the Jaguars. And Jacksonville's pass defense has been really good. Of course, they lead the NFL in takeaways, but they're playing layered football. They're getting a better performance out of their pass rush, right? Certainly better than what they had a year ago. According to ESPN, it was the worst in the NFL. If you look at the pass rush win rate, the situation with Trayvon Walker is something that we're going to have to wait on. There was a report that came out earlier today that he's week to week. That's better than he's going on the shelf, right? If it was truly significant, I think we would have already heard that he's going on the IR. So that's 4 weeks, right? You see today, I know you did because we talked about it pregame or pre-show, but how about the battled players in San Francisco who are not available tomorrow night? If you have not heard, for the 49ers, no Brock Purdy, no Ricky Pearsall, no Juwan Jennings. Another example, Dylan, of Jacksonville just being a really physical football team. Now, we won't dismiss the fact that Jacksonville had 8 injuries in that same game against San Francisco.
No doubt. And you had 2 offensive linemen. He had Cole Van Landen and who was the other person that came in?
Shumato.
Yeah, 2 of those guys had to come in as well. For the 49ers, it felt like they kind of rushed some of those guys back too soon, especially Brock Purdy. I mean, you would think that the divisional game on a Thursday night is more important than the game Sunday played against the Jags, but whatever. They got the win Sunday, and now the 49ers are hurting because they got to play a big game tomorrow.
There's no question about it. And we talked about that in preparation. We thought that maybe that would be something that would favor Jacksonville on the road. Is Brock Purdy going to play? I mean, the people wanted Mac Jones. They didn't get it. Pearsall came back, couldn't finish. He tried it all, right? We saw him on the sideline running. We saw him, riding a bike. Jawan Jennings wasn't even aware that he was banged up to the point where he would be out tomorrow night, but there you have it. And yes, that's a divisional game. It is much more important, no question about it. But anyway, looking at Jacksonville, yes, the Trayvon Walker deal is enormous, and they had another day in which there was no media accessibility. That'll change tomorrow. I'm going to be over at the Miller Electric Center. I think it's at 1:45 when the locker room is open on Thursday. So I'll have plenty of reaction tomorrow night as far as the players. But it's also going to be day 1 of that injury report, which has not come out today. Let me double check. I mean, and again, I should have probably done a little bit more homework on this to find out if it's definitely Thursday when it comes out, not Wednesday. But here's the deal. Jacksonville never plays on a Monday night, so it's not like I have experience and knowledge about these type of things. This is all new to me. It's all new to you. I think their last Monday night football game, if I remember correctly, ended up being a disaster. But
the Bengals.
And what was that, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
It was 2023.
Yeah. Okay.
Jake Browning.
But before that, I mean, it was more than like 10 years, wasn't it? And they've had some Thursday night games.
Right, against the Titans and all that, but Monday night, no.
Yeah, you're going back double digits as far as years, which is pretty scary. But I would love to sit here right now and say, Jacksonville's winning this game. Jacksonville right now has played really good football, but they're still nowhere close to where they can get to, especially on the offensive side. And we're getting more and more and more and more when it comes to, people saying that, the problem is Trevor Lawrence. They're not going to get to that next level because of Trevor Lawrence. And, I'm going to get into that tonight with John Osher, who's going to join us at 7 o'clock. I was reading the Ozone, seeing that he was getting peppered with questions about that. Again, I think it's hilarious that at least one knucklehead out there thought that the only people who are difficult on Trevor Lawrence is us here at 92.5 FM. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, total honesty, and if anything, it's, the vote of confidence and being more protective to Trevor Lawrence, I would assume, than being more harsh on him. Absolutely, I'm going to take the former over the latter. But we'll do that coming up with John Osher. Hey, let me tell you this. If you're injured in a car accident, only one place to know, and that is the good folks over at the Alexander Law Practice, where Rick Alexander has been AV rated since 2004 by Martindale Hubbell. It's the gold standard for any lawyer, okay? Less than 10% of lawyers out there are actually awarded or rated this type of representation. If you have been injured, your car is totaled, you can't afford to make those payments, this is what you call Alexander Law Practice about. It's a free call, free consultation. You're never going to come out of pocket. You describe to them, and Rick Alexander, what needs to happen for you immediately. Ask the questions. They may pay for your car repair. They may pay your hospital bills. They may do whatever it is that you need. If you need this type of attention and creativity and individual care, AlexanderLawPractice.com. And again, a free call and consultation at 400-6600. 100. The Philly Godfather is on the other side.
It's time to get up and go to the Jacksonville Fall RV Show, Thursday through Sunday, October 2nd through 5th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center, with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths, and register to win $250 gift cards every day. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, 10 to 4. Adults, $10, kids under 12, free. Seniors get half off on Thursday. Military and first responders, half off every day. It's the Jacksonville Fall RV Show.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret: Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles. This is RJ with 1010XL. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Philly Godfather joined us preseason, told us he had the Jaguars at 7 and 6.5 as far as total wins. They're now up to 9.5. The Philly Godfather made that pick before the start of the year, and he joins us as he does every Wednesday night. Philly Godfather, what an outstanding pick. It's not complete yet, but it's certainly headed that way.
Yeah, it's still early to start spending that money, but it's a good start, and that's all you can ask for. We've had a great start to the year. We had an unbelievable NFL weekend. We ended up going 11-1, and we're just trying to cash some more tickets.
Man, that is incredible. 9.5. Have you ever done anything in season? Do you have any advice for, Jaguar fans? Would you leave it alone, or would you play it either way at this point?
Nah, it's hard to play it over 9.5, especially with the Texans. They're starting to get a little healthier, and that division's really, really tough. I still think they went over 6.5 and over 7.5 wins. 9 is probably the right spot, and in a division where down the stretch it's going to get tight.
All right, we got 4 big games. Before we do that, my neighbor actually asked about you today, wanted to know what time you were on. I told him the book was sensational. He's going to read it as well. How do listeners get your book, Philly Godfather?
Sure, you go to phillybooked.com, and I'll send you out an autographed copy. It might take 3 to 7 business days, or you go to Amazon, ship the order, and you'll get it the next day.
Let's begin with the Florida Gators. They're coming off a bye, so is in Texas. 3:30 on Saturday. Texas has been a little bit underwhelming this year. Of course, a lot of problems in Gainesville, namely Billy Napier. What do you make of this contest?
Yeah, Texas opened up as a 7.5-point favorite, but money has come in on Florida, pushing that line down to 7 and even 6.5 at some shops. Current bet splits are 50-50 across both U.S. and offshore markets. The total opened up at 45 and has been bet down hard to 41.5 pretty much everywhere. As it stands, mostly Texas -7, 260 on the money line. If you like Florida, you can grab +7, +210 on the money line, and the total's at 41.5. Like I said, personally though, Rick, I don't really agree with the move on Florida. It's tough to back a team that hasn't covered the spread 3 straight weeks and has a quarterback in Lagway who's always been one bad read away from a multi-turnover meltdown. I mean, he's dangerous back there throwing the football. From a betting standpoint, I did take the under 22 in the first half. There's still some under 21.5 out there. I suggest you take that. Between Florida's defense tightening up, Texas inefficiency, finishing drives, and the limited Florida offense, I see multiple possessions stalling out into field goals early in that game. If the spread dips down to 6, I'll likely look to take Texas. The Longhorns' defense has been elite, ranking number 1 in opponent yards per play, and they forced 4 interceptions over the last 3 weeks. On the other side, Archie Manning looks like he's starting to settle in after that poor showing at Ohio State. I lean Texas if it gets to 6, and I'm invested in the first half under.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, let's carry on to the other big one in this state. Florida State, 7:30 at night. They will play host to Miami. Florida State coming off a really difficult loss for them. Miami takes advantage of the bye. Philly Godfather.
Yeah, they should be able to come in a little healthier. The line on this game originally opened up Miami -6, but has since been bet down to 4.5, and I'm seeing some 4s at a few shops. The move comes despite Miami dismantling Florida 26-7, and Florida State just dropped a double-digit overtime heartbreaker Virginia as 7-point favorites. I grabbed Florida State +6 at home, and even at the current number +4.5, I still think there's some value there. These two teams look very evenly matched on both sides of the ball. And yes, the Seminoles made a ton of mistakes in last week's collapse, but when they're locked in, they've shown they can beat anyone. Just look at their week 1 victory over Alabama. This one's being played at home. Bobby Bowden Field, home field edge matters. To me, this game is probably a coin flip, and as long as FSU avoids the type of turnover meltdown that cost them against Virginia, I think the game's a coin flip. I expect a 1-possession game that likely comes down to the final drive, and whoever has the ball last probably wins the game. +6 was a great price. At +4.5, I still think you get to cash that ticket.
I've asked you this many times over the years, and I know your answer, but for other listeners out there, a lot of people have said to me, I love the over. I love the over. There's a good chance of rain Saturday night. So your thoughts on the total considering that element?
Rain doesn't really slow it down. It may cause more turnovers, but the wind is what you really got to pay attention to.
There you go.
Anytime there's a game with 15-mile-per-hour winds or higher, then you're looking to bet the under. So as long as there's no winds, you might get the job done.
Yep, I knew your answer, no doubt. Hey, how do our listeners, how do they get a hold of you, Philly Godfather?
Yeah, you can stop by my website, thephillygodfather.com, or you can follow me on X at Philly Godfather.
All right, Baltimore's beaten up. Physically, yes. I wonder if they are mentally as well. We don't know about Lamar Jackson officially. Houston pounded Tennessee. It's a bad football team in Nashville. Houston's favored on the road right now in Baltimore.
Yeah, the Ravens opened up as a touchdown favorite before the Lamar Jackson news. And, the market reacts. Houston's now 1.5, 1-point favorite. So the market's telling you that Lamar Jackson is not going to play. The total has also taken a hit. It dropped 3.5 to 4 points, depending on which sports book you use. It's down to 40. And like you said, I can't back Baltimore here. They're in real danger of missing the playoffs for the first time since 2021. I mean, their leader and two-time MVP, he's not playing. I mean, the market's telling you he's not playing. He's been sidelined. This team is just too beat up to trust with your money. I mean, do you really want to invest in Cooper Rush going up against a Texans defense ranked number 1 in points allowed per game? I don't. I like Houston in this spot. C.J. Stroud should have some success against this Ravens secondary that's completely banged up. Currently carries the lowest overall health score of any NFL team this weekend.
Wow.
Defensively, I expect Texas to load the box. They're going to try to slow down Derrick Henry, and they're going to force the Ravens to win the ball by throwing it in the air, which is not going to happen. And I like the Texans here, man. I think it's kind of easy. Money line and -1.
Yeah, we saw D'Amico Ryans here a few weeks ago put a fifth man in the box. Really did a nice job against Jacksonville in the first half. 6 carries for 11 yards. Jacksonville did make some adjustments and rushed for 75 in the second half. But, Derrick Henry doesn't look like himself either. He's been fumbling the football. All right, let's wrap it up. Monday Night Football, Philly Godfather, right here in Duval. The Jaguars play host to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, but this should be a great game to watch. I mean, both teams are really healthy going into this game, so there's no real edge in the injury department. And after 4 games, the Jags are 3-1, which is great for a regular season win total. They've got wins over the Texans and 49ers, but context matters. Both those opponents were banged up, and those 2 victories came thanks in part. I think there were 7 turnovers by their opponents in those 2 games. So, yeah, they were a little fortunate. Jags have a great turnover differential on the year. I think they lead the league, and they're just the 3rd team in the last 20 years to force 3+ turnovers in each of the first 4 games. So their defense is, causing some nightmares here for opposing teams' offenses. But that kind of turnover luck, it's not sustainable, Rick. And I don't see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs giving extra possessions away on Sunday. History backs it up. Mahomes has faced Jacksonville 5 times. I don't think he's lost yet. I kind of like the Chiefs here, -3. There's some 3.5s in the market. If you're going to bet the Chiefs, bet it now because that game could close -4 or even higher. So I like the Chiefs here. I just think they're the better team. They were expected to win 4 more games before the season started, and now they're both healthy. And I know the Chiefs started off a little slow, but they could have beaten the Eagles. They went out and they beat the Giants, and then they spanked the Ravens, who most people had them penciled into the Super Bowl. So this Chiefs team's still pretty good.
Yeah, Mahomes threw 1 touchdown apiece in the first 3 games, threw for 4 yesterday or Sunday, getting Xavier Worthy back. So more prolific on offense. We'll see. Going to be a lot of fun, though, coming up on Monday night. All right, as you leave us, Philly Godfather, how do our listeners get your book?
Yeah, go to phillybooked.com. I send you out an autographed copy. It may take 3 to 7 days. Or you go to Amazon and ship the order. You'll pick it up probably the next day. They'll send it out the next day. And I'm cheering in the Phillies. I gave it to you guys before the season started. 11-1. Let's go Phillies.
There you go. Boston has tied it up at 2 apiece. So it's crazy right now in that rivalry as well. And finally, how do our listeners get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can stop by my website, thephillygodfather.com, or you can go to X at Philly Godfather.
Philly Godfather, always a pleasure. Best of luck in your plays.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes. I just looked up. It was 2-2. The Sox had runners on first and second. Now I look up and there's a commercial. So I'm guessing it was a double play ball. That would just be my guess. I could wish that maybe they switched pitchers, right? Maybe they went to the bullpen that early. But I have a feeling that it probably was a double play ball. Let's see, middle of the 3rd. Yeah, that is exactly what did take place. But, we had a 1-0 ball game yesterday until the 7th inning. And the final was 3-1. It's already 2-2. And we're going to the bottom of the third at Yankee Stadium tonight. So it feels like it's going to be a totally different style of baseball game. All right, we got a lot more to do. John Osher at 7. Jaguar fans, don't go anywhere. All right, in the meantime, we got much more to do. He is Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. We call it Into the Night.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
The Crusaders take a trip to Tally to battle the Raiders in a Friday night football fight. Bishop Kenny Rickards, 7 o'clock on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber's journey with Awaken 180. Well, ready for this? She has now lost 60 pounds. That number's real, 60 pounds in a little over 3 months. And here's the thing, she loves doing it. She just went on a trip to Tampa to see a concert, sort of a road trip. And I asked her, was it hard to stay on the diet? She said, Dad, that's just it. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's sustainable. And it's sustainable even when you're on the road. She is so excited. It has not changed her life. I think that's the best thing. It's a lifestyle change, but it doesn't ruin your life. She's loving her life, and she's so excited that she's been able to lose all that weight. You can do the same thing. You can kickstart your transformation. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's working for Amber, and she's so excited, and I promise you it can work for you. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Parker McCullum. Live 2026. Friday and Saturday, March 27th and 28th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Multi-platinum selling artist Parker McCullum. Special guests Max McNown and Lacey K. Booth. On sale now at AXS.com. Parker McCullum Live.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 1st, 2004, Ichiro Suzuki breaks the single-season hit record, getting his 258th hit of the season.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jax, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them a solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjax.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Get up on it.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you tonight till 8, tomorrow night 6 to 8. Plenty of reaction from the Jaguars locker room tomorrow over at the Miller Electric Center. Then remember, on Friday during high school football season, with you 4 to 6 on the AM. That is 1010. This is not what you want with Houston going into Baltimore with a beaten-up Ravens team, and it certainly appears as though it's going to be Cooper Rush under center. I talk about sample size a bit because it's important. And I said that Derrick Henry doesn't look the same. They lost that game against Buffalo on opening night, right? They were down. They were up big, and Buffalo came from behind and scored 16 unanswered points late to win it 41-40. Well, on that night, Henry was 18 for 169 and 2 touchdowns, including the 49-yarder. That's an average of 9.4. Okay? Since then, 11 carries, 23 yards against Cleveland, 12 for 50, which is a good average, but again, only 12 carries in a one-possession football game against Detroit. Then last week against Kansas City, they became, one-dimensional after the Chiefs took the lead, but only 8 carries, 42 yards. He's also had 3 fumbles so far this year. If they're going to pull off this upset, it's not going to be Cooper Rush beating you in the air. I mean, this has to be one of those classic Derrick Henry 22, 23, 25 carries, moving the clock, dominating the time of possession, and that is what you are going to have to do. So we'll see, but I just look at the injuries right here, man. They are just a beaten-up football team. So that's happening quite a bit across the NFL, and certainly that is that does apply here. Dylan, I was looking at some numbers today. The win total we just talked about with the Philly Godfather up to 9.5. You and I both said during the offseason we would have played Jacksonville over 7.5. I had them going 10-7 for the year. 3-1 now going into week 5. Would you touch 9.5 at this point with the schedule that they have ahead?
No, I thought at the beginning of the season, I thought they win 8 games. I thought 9 would be a really good mark. 9.5 seems a little too rich for me.
Yeah. I did have them losing last week at San Francisco. So, I had them 10-7 on the year, but at this point I had them at 2-2. And I actually have them going 2-3. Those are my preseason picks. Certainly we'll make our picks again coming up on Friday. The Jaguars to make the playoffs, -190, okay? When's the last time Jacksonville was -190? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you have to lay $190 to win 100. It couldn't have been their last trip to the playoffs a few years ago because they lost a lot of games early on, and then they came back in the second half of the season, Dylan. All those come-from-behind victories. There's no way that they were a -190 then. So I think we're going back to, maybe the great run of the AFC Championship game in 2018, the last time they were this big as far as odds to make the playoffs?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you got to think, we're only 4 games in. I still feel like we're still a lot left. We don't know about this Jags team. Every game, the first 4 games, I know the defense has played good, but you've won the turnover battle by 3 or 4 each game. I don't think it's going to happen these next 3 weeks.
Yeah. A couple of other numbers for you. Let's see here. Lazy fly ball to left field. Are they going to send him? No. So the Yankees, the runners on the corners, now second and third, threatening again in the bottom of the third. Finally, Super Bowl odds, 45-1 for Jacksonville. It's not a bad risk reward if you think it's going to happen. AFC, 20-1. Wow. That's pretty intriguing. It really is. AFC South, it's still Indianapolis at +130. Then it's Jacksonville at minus 110. And Houston plus 650. Tennessee plus 10,000. So those are your odds to win the AFC South. Let's stay with the Jaguars. John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com. He's up in 4 minutes.
He flies under the radar.
You don't find this guy, he finds you.
Stealthy Hayes Carlisle
Best thing I can do is point you in the direction of his competition.
takes you behind enemy lines. Activated by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL. Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
With an opportunity to silence the opposing team crowd early in the contest, the good guys wouldn't pass up the chance. Trevor Lawrence led the Teal and Black on a 13-play, 89-yard drive, capped off by a Hunter Long touchdown to give themselves a 14-3 lead with 5:01 left in the half. The 8-minute drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators! Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
John Osher is my hockey analyst, and the puck drops 6 days. They enjoyed their 2 weeks off. He also is the senior writer at Jaguars.com and joins me every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. John, how are you?
Rick, how are you? It's almost hockey season, huh?
There have been years where I think you and I may have looked ahead to the hockey season earlier than others. That does not apply for the 2025 Jaguars.
No, you follow this league as much as I have, Rick, and for 30 years, you sort of get a feel when a team's for real. And I look at this team and being able to go out west, beat San Francisco, as much as anything, the thing I keep thinking about this week is what Liam said on Monday about how they've controlled games. And he wasn't saying it braggingly. He was trying to point out that, yes, you can call them ugly. They've only trailed for 9 minutes, which means they're in control of game. They're the team dictating situations late for the most part, not always, but I don't think these guys are a fluke. I think they know how they want to play. They do a few really important things well. It's going to keep them having very interesting, meaningful games for a long time this year.
I was with you in Cincinnati, and we saw him walk in after a game that they should have won. And there was this fire in his eyes, like this is not going to be the norm. And I thought it was so different. It had a Coughlin-type feel to it, but I think, and then you went into the locker room, and it was a different locker room. They weren't as loud as they were the last couple of years. Again, it just felt different. And I think what he's done in a small period of time is remarkable. It feels like these players really want to play hard for Liam Cohen.
Yeah, I think that is a huge part of it, and that's unquestionably true. I think what he's also done is, they from day one, like against Carolina, remember, and against Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati loss looks worse now because Burrow and they're struggling. But there's never been a feeling going in like, hey, we're the underdog in this thing. Even San Francisco, which, they should have been the underdog, these guys expect to win. And, I think the way they play, they're not surprised when they're winning. And I said today on a show, when these guys went out in 22 and played Kansas City, neither in the regular season or postseason did I really think they were going to win. I hoped. I thought they had a chance. But Monday night, I'm not sure that I'm not walking into that stadium against the 3-time defending AFC champions. It's not going to surprise me if the Jaguars walk out and win. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean that I think they're not necessarily better yet than the Chiefs or that the Chiefs aren't experienced enough to win that game. But I don't think they're going to look at this and saying, oh, wow, we're playing the Chiefs. I don't think this team approaches things that way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. John Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com, joining Rick Ballou. All right, we didn't get a report today. We'll get it tomorrow at the Miller Electric Center. We know 8 guys were injured on Sunday. 3 did not return. Trayvon Walker is huge in all of this. Do you have any feeling at all as to his availability on Monday night?
I don't have anything officially, so I don't think he's necessarily out. But I think obviously the week's going to have a big deal, seeing the specialist and all that. I guess the best thing I can say is I know Trayvon well enough, I think, and I've seen him. This guy's different, and he's different physically. And if he can play, he's going to play. Mm-hmm. I wish I knew more to give you a real vibe, and I just don't have a vibe. It's just I know there's different human beings on the planet, Rick, and he's one of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, I saw Pro Football Focus did a bad grade on Ogba, but I think he had 4 pressures. I thought he was okay when he was asked to take the majority of those snaps. Depth is something that has worked for this football team, certainly in the offensive line with Edoga and Van Lanen, and as well defensively. I mean, even guys like Ray Lane playing as a rookie, he got 8 snaps at safety on Sunday. So this is a football team that is building some early depth.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just, again, the belief that these guys have. They don't really believe when guys go out that the other guys aren't going to step up and play. Bucky Brooks, who appears with us on the Huddle Up podcast, I think said it best today when we were talking. There's not a whole lot of ego on this team, and there's not a whole, I don't think they care who makes plays. And I do think that sort of approach does filter down to where when you have depth, I don't think these guys, meaning when you have injuries, I don't think these guys look at it and say, oh, my goodness, the backup safety's in. I just think confidence and belief in playing together, as cliche as that sounds, means a great deal in the NFL. And these guys believe in it so much that I think that helps them have depth. Plus, they build depth. They did a great job signing guys on the line. So they earned it, but I think the approach has something to do with that as well.
One of the last decisions that Liam Cohen had to make was who's playing next to Foye Oluokun. Is it going to be Devin Lloyd? Is it going to be Ventrell Miller? That was a heck of a battle. And what Lloyd has done has been nothing short of spectacular. I understand it's a zone coverage, and his drops have been excellent, and he's been reading quarterbacks' eyes. I asked him about that in Cincinnati, the play where he didn't, they blew the whistle. But just your opinion on what we're witnessing here with Devin Lloyd.
Well, it's remarkable, and you have to give him credit first of all for responding to the situation during training camp. And then I think Liam said it 1 or 2 press conference out of the block. Look, it was close early, and Devin didn't play all the snaps in the opener, and he's made it not close because he's playing at I don't know what else to call it, but a Pro Bowl level. And, one thing, too, he's always been a guy who, whenever he's around the ball, he makes plays on it. Remember his first month of the season, he had the interceptions, the fumble. He has unbelievable hands and ability to catch the ball for a guy of his size. And you've got to credit Campanelli, these coaches, for, I got tired, Rick, of how do you unlock Devin Lloyd?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the point where I was so tired of talking about it. I said, well, maybe you can't. Well, Campanelli did, and it's been an amazing transformation. And all of a sudden, on a defense where Trayvon Walker you knew is good, Josh Allen's really good, Armstead's a frontline player. All of a sudden, to have one more star, that's a huge difference in the league when you get more playmakers on one side of the ball.
No doubt about it. All right, our weekly Travis Hunter question. We know that he didn't play in the second half on defense Sunday. This feels to me like one of these games where you're going to have to outscore Kansas City. Certainly 4 touchdown passes by Mahomes. I mean, you may have to get to 27, 30 points to win this game. Is this a Travis Hunter more on offense Monday night game?
I honestly don't know because I've not asked, and it was just off my radar, why he didn't play in the second half on defense. I do know that they were making an effort last week, get him the ball more on offense. Maybe that played into it. I think they have to do that this week because, to me, this is a game. You had 2 50-plus, or not 50-plus touchdowns, but 48-plus touchdowns. I think you're going to need 1 or 2 of those on Monday, big plays. So I think that plays into it. I don't know, Rick, if that means he won't play a whole lot on defense. I do know that they trust Monteric Brown maybe a lot more than conventional wisdom would say they do. So they're not hesitant at all to play Monteric, Tyson, and Jordan Lewis if they think they need Hunter more over there. But I don't know enough to speak intelligently and say that's going to be the game plan.
let's wrap with Trevor Lawrence. After the victory, I put on Twitter that I thought he showed a lot of leadership and, motivation. There were times where he was yelling, particularly the miss on the 2-point conversion. And someone responded to me and said, well, the only people who criticize him are you guys on 92.5. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I am so interactive with these listeners, and they get on them. And I'm reading the Ozone. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday.
Oh, it's constant.
But you had a guy, okay, the very first question was, this team can get there, but they won't get there with Trevor Lawrence. So just your thoughts a quarter of the way into the season on where Trevor is with this new offense and where you think he can get.
It's probably a longer answer than you want to hear, but I think what's important is he is not just Liam saying it. He is doing a very, very, very good job pre-snap, getting them in plays. When they are canning plays, as they say, he is getting them in and out, and he is handling all that with poise. I see readers' point when they look at him in the pocket, some of the throws. There are some decisions and some throws that you don't love. What I hope and what I think may be the case is you spend so much time pre-snap and you're focusing so much on that. It's a new thing without that armband that maybe he's just not – it's not muscle memory yet. Like, I hate the phrase playing free, but I can see in this case why you say it. He may just not being instinctive yet. But the fact that he's owning it in the pocket, that's always the stuff we didn't know about him, and we knew he could play once the play started. So I just believe, Rick, that we're still going to see a case where I hesitate to use the word relax, but maybe that's the only word. Relaxes into it once the play starts, takes his read, starts going with it and playing natural. That's what you're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. But the fact that he's doing such a great job pre-snap with this new offense, Rick, we've seen him play. I can't believe that the physical stuff won't come around.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it as well. I mean, this passing offense, again, only one wide receiver touchdown in 4 games. Sooner or later that is going to explode.
And you'd rather be – I know we're up against it, but to me, I would rather have the running game going.
Oh, yeah.
Trust it, and I think we do.
Oh, yeah.
You got to figure that the passing game will meet that. It's a lot harder to get that running game going if it's not working. So I think it's going to be there maybe Monday. We'll see.
You can read the Ozone and everything else with John Osher and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. John Osher is the senior writer. John, I'll see you tomorrow morning or make that tomorrow afternoon over at the Miller Electric Center.
Look forward to it, Rick. We'll see you.
There he goes. John Osher. Good stuff there. So, we need to head to this break. I'm still bowing up a little bit, Dylan, about that guy saying it's only you guys at 92.5 who criticize.
He must not go out much.
Trevor Lawrence. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me,
I know
man.
Plenty of people.
And I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak for anyone else on our radio station if they're not here to comment or support or defend. But everyone's different. But I think when push comes to shove, for the most part, there's been more support than there has been criticism. And by the way, criticism in a lot of these situations is valid. It is. We'll come back. We'll talk about Trevor for a moment. We'll also get some stuff from you on YouTube. You can get to us, 1010XL, into the night. And those on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
4th down and 11, game on the line.
11 guys line up, but only one will end up the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
And there he goes.
On 1010XL.
Garrett Scantling here, and once again, thanks to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. My torn hip labrum issue is resolved thanks to Dr. Doward, and Dr. Acevedo keeps my feet healthy too. Training and competing, that's what it's all about for me. And Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has me in top condition.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Niall Lawrence Stample, national champion and owner of NLS Cleaning. We're your exterior cleaning experts for pressure washing, gutters, windows, and paper sealing. This event season, get your home or business ready to go before guests arrive. NLS Cleaning, 708-8802.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 1st, 2004, Ichiro Suzuki breaks the single-season hit record, getting his 258th hit of the season.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts the Jaguars call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Since 1901, generations of skilled union workers have built the backbone of our community. Hospitals, schools, the buildings where you work. Every year, a new apprentice class of Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians is stepping up, trained, driven, and ready to do great things. They're not just building our city, they're building their future. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to become a member or contractor today.
Hidden Hills Golf Club wants you to know that our fall twilight rates are here. Plenty of time to get your round in before sunset for just $35 on weekdays and $39 on weekends starting at 2 p.m. Visit hiddenhillsgc.com to book today.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yankees are already in the Red Sox bullpen. Wilson on the bump. We go to the top of the 5th. 2-2. Greatest rivalry in sports. Tiny Dog Racing is our newest segment here on Into the Night. No. Tiny Dog Racing on YouTube at 1010 Into the Night says, Rick, the 2 players you all hate the most are Lloyd and ETN. Okay. I would agree with that. Now, I'm never afraid to admit when I was wrong. I had Florida State winning at Virginia. I'm never afraid to admit when I was wrong. I had San Francisco knocking off Jacksonville. I'm never afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I had Georgia knocking off Bama. As a matter of fact, some may say I put my house on Georgia, but I don't bet, as far as you know. I absolutely 100% supported Travis Etienne and said, do not move him in a contract year. Far before the Tank Bigsby stuff. As far as Devin Lloyd, here's what I got for you. His first 3 years, he couldn't cover me. I mean, he just couldn't. He was so bad in coverage. And Mike Caldwell and Ryan Nielsen did not get the best out of his ability as a linebacker. Now this zone coverage is totally different, and we're seeing what he is able to do. And Devin Lloyd's going to make himself a ton of money. I think he's actually going to outprice himself here in Jacksonville. I could be wrong. The percentages are in his favor with every great game that he has. I as I say all the time, I do not think Travis Etienne is returning, and it's not because of Travis Etienne. It's because of Travis Etienne's position. Running backs are not valued. And, I think you're going to see him move on for that very reason. I was looking at quarterback rankings today. They had Trevor Lawrence in at number 19. And I was like, really? There's 18 better quarterbacks in the NFL than Trevor Lawrence. And this was according to CBS Sports. So I started tinkering around a little bit and looking. And again, Trevor Lawrence, 25 out of 27 qualified quarterbacks. He's 25th out of 27. One of those behind him just got benched today. And Joe Flacco, they're going to go with Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland, not Shedeur Sanders. So this is in completion percentage at 58.3. The other is Cam Ward. But we understand what's going on. Jacksonville leads the NFL in drops. They have 14 drops. You add that overall to his numbers. Let's see here. He's 84 for 114. 84 for 144. You go to 98 of 144. That 58.3. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but that's well over 60%. Still not where you want. Again, I'm not a Trevor Lawrence apologist, but these have been some issues. His quarterback rating is 30th in the NFL. It's 75.1. Okay, it's hard to support these numbers. But John Osher just made the right point, okay? And it's something that we've been yelling about. I've been yelling about forever. If you run, it fixes everything. Jackson was the number one rushing offense in the NFL in yards per game as well as in average. Now, that's dropped a little bit. They're fourth in pro football, but they're still getting 144 yards a game rushing, okay? They're sixth in rushing average at 5.01. They didn't abandon the run. A week ago, Sunday, against Houston. Remember, DeMeco Ryans put a fifth man in the box, especially when Jackson went the double tight. They said, you're not going to beat us with a run. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to pass the football. Well, they made adjustments. They ran the ball for 75 yards in the second half. That was very important, that victory over Houston. But I agree with John. I would much rather have the rushing attack working, knowing that improvement is coming with your passing game. There's too much talent with Hunter Thomas Jr., Diami Brown, who hopefully will be ready to go coming up on Monday night. The positives are this. It just feels like Travis Hunter is going to get more involved. 1 of 2 against Houston, 1 reception, 2 targets. That was on 2nd and 21. He made moves that only a few guys in the NFL can make, and he picked up that first down. He made an unbelievable reception last week. Okay? I think it was 3 receptions, 5 targets. I'm looking at 8, 9, 10 targets for Travis Hunter on Monday night. I think it's time to unleash him. We have seen that the screen game has not been a big part of this offense so far for Liam Cohen. He had the number 1 screen game a year ago in pro football in Tampa Bay. That is going to improve. Liam Cohen was number 1 last year on third downs, more than 50%. This year's Jaguars team has really struggled on third downs. I mean, it's really embarrassing. 19 of 54, 35.2%. That's 25th in the NFL. And they were only, 4 of 11? Actually, they were 4 of 14. How the hell do you go 4 of 14 on third down and win in San Francisco? Well, Blue, you have a defense that got 4 takeaways. Thank you.
And a special teams touchdown.
No doubt.
Helps a lot.
Boy, they flipped the switch there. Special teams against Houston was one of the worst games that I've ever seen them play. I've never said Logan Cook had a bad game. He did. And little trouble with kickoffs. Had Allen Jr. take it out of the end zone when he shouldn't. Allen Jr., they began this game, same deal. punt in the end zone. Allen Jr. catches a ball, goes out of bounds, and then all of a sudden you're like, what's going on? Tootin takes it back 54 yards. Parker Washington scores an 87-yard punt return. And you get a coffin corner punt by Logan Cook. I also think it's a big week for Brian Thomas Jr. Now, Steve Spagnuolo is a genius. And if you look at the 7 attempts that Trevor threw Thomas Jr., the 5 receptions, and let's face it, Thomas Jr. should have had a 6th. He's got a toe tap there. I just want to say that he's been focused so much on trying to catch the football that he didn't drop the other toe. I mean, if you're going to be a top 5 wide receiver in this league, and Brian Thomas, was playing like that a year ago, you got to be able to do that. He did not. I think that is going to come for Brian Thomas Jr. I really believe that. Now, when I talk about Spagnuolo as being a genius, they've studied it in tape, and they'll continue to study it. You look at those targets, they had what in common? They were all out patterns by Brian Thomas Jr. You were able to get away with that against San Francisco, against Robert Saleh. I mean, this team legally stole signs, and they knew, hey, look, we can run an out and run an out and run an out and run an out and run 7 outs with Thomas Jr. We're going to get away with it. Okay? You're not going to be able to get away with that consistently. You're going to have defensive backs cheat, and that's got pick 6 written all over it. I want to believe Liam Cohen is smart enough. I want to believe that Grant Udinski is smart enough. I want to believe that Trevor Lawrence is smart enough that they understand, sure, it's going to be part of his game, but he also has to return to running routes over the mid part of the football field. And, you wonder about him being scared, and I get it, but they ran him on a reverse. So you don't hand the football to a wide receiver on a counter if he's scared. At least I don't think it. And he did. He ran out of bounds. He picked up 7 yards. But in this, I believe this is a smart enough football team. Okay, best case scenario, he runs a variety of different routes, including goes. But he has to, again, run towards the middle part of the field, in my opinion. Let's say hypothetically speaking, we're in the second quarter Monday night, and there's already been 3 attempts to Thomas Jr. They're all outs. All of a sudden, here comes your 4th target to Thomas Jr., and it's an out. And bam, it's picked off. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. This is their full-time job. They're going to recognize this is more than a trend. This is a complete, total change to what he is doing offensively. And I credit the staff because it almost felt like baby steps to get him back to where he was a season ago. Take advantage of what he does well. And it worked. He caught 5 footballs. Best game of the year. But as I said, I think he can get away with it once. You're going to have to make some changes if that is going to happen again. Okay. I was asked about this a week ago, and I was asked about it on Monday. And it's a very fair point about why does it take so long for Jacksonville to run a play. John Osher just added to that, reminding us of the fact that he does not have the armband. Okay, this is an incredibly complex offense, and it hasn't even begun to gel. I witnessed things at every single practice at the Miller Electric Center. Okay, this offense, passing-wise, it's a matter of time before it takes off. The Thomas Jr. thing has been concerning since day one. And I came in here every show, and I was like, what's up? What's up? He's dropping balls. He's dropping balls. I didn't say that about Hunter, though. I didn't say that about Diami Brown. I didn't say that about Parker Washington. So I do. I believe that this thing is going to really move forward. And frankly, this is the week you need it. Because Mahomes was scary on Sunday. Again, Patrick Mahomes only threw one touchdown a game in his first 3 games. Then he exploded for 4. And, they let you – Patrick Mahomes is their leading rusher. Okay? Last week, the first thing that – even with Brock Purdy, the first thing was what? Defend Christian McCaffrey. And they did. Man, they held him to 2.9 yards a carry. It was phenomenal. But you take on opponents, and there are situations where you look at the back first, and it's you got to defend the run. Not the case here. Mahomes will pass and set up the run almost the way that Tom Brady did with interchangeable running backs for 2 decades in New England. And I couldn't believe that when I looked at the numbers, I think it was Monday, on Mahomes. He leads this club in rushing. Just bizarre. All right. We got plenty more to do. What happened? Yankees?
Aaron Judge hit a ball to left field. Runner was at second. Diving catch, went in and out of his glove. Runner came home.
Can't have Yankees. You cannot make mistakes. It's like the Jaguars who lead the NFL with 38 penalties. You can't make mistakes like that. So the bad guys up over the good guys. Yankees 3-2 right now. They're going absolutely crazy in Gotham. Look at it. They're stepping over children and they're stepping over wives. They're doing whatever they can to get like a free T-shirt. Oh, you got to make that play. This is Bill Buckner, 40 years later.
And it was an unearned run. He walked and they stole second.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
All with 2 outs.
Hey, the trend today has been evening up the series, right? Cleveland did it 1 apiece, knocking off Detroit today. And then San Diego went into Wrigley Field to tie up that series today at 1 apiece. Right now, the Yankees up 3-2 over the Red Sox in the bottom of the 5th. Tonight at 9 o'clock, it'll be Cincinnati visiting the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The bank opens for business, and America watches when the Monday night lights turn teal. It's pride, power, and primetime swagger. Feel the Duval energy. Jaguars, Chiefs. It's Monday Night Football on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. Look, if your roof's got any damage, leaks, or it's just plain old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. Well, it's true. Quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget with Apex. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Visit Apex Roofing and Contracting at the Home and Patio Show this weekend.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
How likely is it to live to be 100 years old? The answer coming up.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In the United States, about 5% of women live to be 100, but only 1.8% of men.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hickens Hype, Checkmate Coatings crushes it with floors I'd put in my own pad.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Rush to checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
That was so catchy. Phil Collins. Quick reminder, $1 oysters going on right now at the Blue Crab House. Ladies and gentlemen, that is $1. Just $1. Blue Crab House, right off of San Jose, Julington Creek Road. Oh, he didn't sing for us. I wanted to be an FM DJ. Damn it. That's still my ultimate goal. If I hit the lottery, I'm still going to do radio. I'm just going to do a graveyard shift from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and smoke Chesterfields and play 4, maybe 5 songs an hour because I'm going to talk the rest of the time.
You play, and when you're not talking, play the 70s best hits of what you would think is the best 70s best hits.
Play whatever I want. If Phil Collins got so after it, he was deep with some of those lyrics in Genesis, then he just popped his way out, and every song he wrote became a hit. But he's not doing well. It's too bad. I saw a recent video of him. Second concert I ever saw was at the Worcester Centrum, second biggest city in Massachusetts. It was Eric Clapton with Phil Collins on drums. Pretty fun show. 0981 says, hey, Rick, if Virginia's legit, do you think they could go to the college football playoff? Look at their schedule. It's kind of a cakewalk. I think they have no shot. They're a 7-point underdog this week at Louisville. I responded to him a little bit back. He responds to 0981 by saying, haha, true. I didn't think about that. I'm stoned. Miami could go all the way. Okay. Don't bet when you're stoned. Okay. Don't ever do that, I would think. And there were people at Florida State, they would be like, well, I'm studying stoned, therefore I'm going to take the test stoned.
People do a million different things, man. Some people take Adderall, smoke. I'll do anything, man, to be locked in for 2 to 3 hours for a test in college. At least when I went to school, I didn't do any of that stuff. But I didn't.
You didn't study or get stoned?
No, neither. For me to take a test or anything, I did journalism school. I didn't have to do, I wasn't in law school or trying to, take a biology test, memorize all these formulas and stuff. Yeah, if you're in sports media, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I wish I studied that. They had a pretty good communications program, but I have a criminology degree. I actually enjoyed studying. Now, the courses you got to pass get your 60 credits or whatever. That's one thing, but I really enjoyed learning about criminology, so I did not matter. Do not make a mistake, the Trevor story. Middle in, there she goes. Yankee Stadium's not going to hold it. We have a 3-3 ball game right now, Boston and New York. This is what it's all about. You know my heart's going to get ripped out at some point this week, maybe at both points this week in this series here between Boston and New York, and then on Saturday night, heading off to God's country for Florida State as they do play host to the Miami Hurricanes. 88-46, saw the Clapton with Phil Collins, Twin Cities in the 80s. Awesome show. Absolutely. It was a blast. No doubt about it. Miami fans taking a selfie when they were relevant. Okay, they're relevant right now. I think they had the best player in college football in Ruben Bain. It's going to be a consensus top 3 pick. Maybe the first position pick in next April's draft if you're not a quarterback. 0253 Blue. I like that old Saturday night. Carson Beck just sits in the pocket. Doak going to be rocking. Well, he's got the best offensive line in football. He's got 2 big mutters as backs. And he's got some very talented wide receivers. If you haven't seen the young true freshman yet, Malachi, I mean, he is a presence. As a true freshman, he is that good. And, you know, Miami shows up. I went to that game 2 years ago. That was Florida State's, run of 19 straight victories. And something that Florida State did then, and it's tough to complain. Malachi Toney is his name, the wide receiver. It's tough to complain when you win 19 in a row, but I will anyway. Because Florida State never put anyone away. Right? I mean, last year's Miami's better than Florida State. What did they do? They put them away. Last year's Florida's better than Florida State. What did they do? They put them away. Florida better than Florida State last year. They put them away. You go back to a few years ago. It took arguably the greatest quarterback performance in the history of Florida State by Jordan Travis to knock off Florida. Florida State, a much better team. Florida State never just shows up and pounds their opponent under Mike Norvell. Listen, this year against Alabama may be the exception to the rule. So I think it goes one of two ways. Either, Miami runs away with this thing. And when it's all said and done, we're talking about a Miami 14 to 17 point win. Or Florida State, gets by, with a field goal or something like that. So here's the difference. Okay. If you want to sell Florida State, the major difference, Carson, who am I thinking of? Chandler Morris last week was such a good dual threat. I mean, the guy scored 3 touchdowns with his feet. And Florida State wasn't even remotely close to him on any one of those touchdown carries. That's not Carson Beck's game. Now, Carson Beck is among leaders in all of college football, completing 72% of his passes. He's got a very good offensive line. He's got talent at wide receiver, and he's got 2 running backs that he absolutely loves. And in my world, okay, it's been set in stone. Miami's going to be able to run this football right at Florida State. What's going on here? They're going crazy in God. What?
There was a fly out and then I'll run our first double play.
You can't get that crowd revved up with a twin killer. Boston had runners on first and second in the second and hit a double play. They hit into another one here. So they're getting on, but still, we got a good ball game. 3-3. If you happen to check the runs, I didn't look at the runs. I mean, it was 6.5 last night, 6. And, of course, it was a 3-1 final. Did you notice what it was going into tonight's game?
I didn't see.
I got to believe it was up a little bit. Maybe 7, 7.5, 8 for this matchup. We'll see. But the unders have really come in 3 out of 4 yesterday. Let's see, 6-1 today against Detroit. I imagine that fell under. 3-0 San Diego in Chicago. That absolutely fell under. So I have 5 of the first 6 finals total runs under so far during the first round of the, I guess they call it the wild card round that's going on right now in Major League Baseball. Much more to do. Ticket tonight till 8 o'clock.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay and Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee and Grammy winner, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again Tour. October 29th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. On sale now at AXS.com.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Living on Amelia Island? Having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Enjoy barbecue, live music, and auctions at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida's 4th annual Sizzlin' Soiree, presented by Dunkin' Donuts, October 2nd at the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Laugh to defeat prostate cancer at the Comedy and Cocktails Awareness event, featuring music, food, drinks, and of course, comedy. October 2nd at the Jesse Ball DuPont Center.
It's an evening of connection, laughter, and friendly competition, celebrating the creativity and resilience of our community with costumes, bowling, and prizes. To find out more about the Community Bowling Costume Party October 24th, contact Rebel Recovery.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at Vistar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
Trinity Rescue Mission helps the Jacksonville homeless community find the road to recovery by providing food and shelter, skills to enter the workforce, and breaking the homeless cycle. Learn about Trinity Rescue Mission at trinityrescue.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, nothing to report injury-wise for the Jaguars. An off day today because of Monday Night Football. But here's the deal. Tomorrow, Miller Electric Center, I'll have it all. Everything that is available, everything that is out there, including the latest from the players. I'll be in the locker room to interview several of them. And we'll also get our injury report tomorrow. I do believe that Liam Cohen is speaking tomorrow. It's typically a Wednesday for Cohen. Let me see this real quick. Where's the?
I think it's early afternoon.
The media,
if I'm not mistaken.
Have they built a cafe or anything down there so I can go and stay? No, they still haven't. Okay, let's see. I could walk the jail, get my 10,000 steps in, take a look at that beautiful view. 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, Liam Cohen speaks. Practice open at 12:05. Open locker room 1:45 to 2:30. At 2:30, Trevor Lawrence speaks. We are going to be absolutely jam-packed. And Tim Brando will join us coming up on Thursday. So that's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. I don't like this stuff that's coming out of Baltimore here with the, looks like Cooper Rush under center. I don't want Houston. I mean, Houston has to play a first-place schedule. I had them losing at Baltimore before the year began. I don't want them going in there and going to 2-3, winning a road game in Baltimore. On top of that, you look at Indianapolis, a very winnable game at home. The Las Vegas Raiders are coming in. So, I mean, you could have the Colts go 4-1. You could very easily have the Houston Texans go into 2-3. And, of course, Monday night, Jacksonville will try to get to 4-1.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
I know you had an eye on it last night as you was doing your show, but I'll tell you, it's been a long time. It's been several years for me, but last night, Boston, New York, felt like the early 2000s, mid-2000s.
Yeah, bases loaded in the ninth with nobody out, and the fact that the Yankees couldn't get a single run home, pretty crazy stuff. I was talking to Denmark about this, and obviously, 99% of our show tonight will be Jaguar and college football related. And maybe it's just me because I'm not near the diehard baseball fan that you are, but I had 3 or 4 people that I talked to yesterday that literally had no idea that the baseball postseason was beginning yesterday, and it was the Yankees and the Red Sox. Is that a Jacksonville thing, or is that a Major League Baseball marketing thing?
I wish I knew the answer to that question. I think one thing that is hurting Major League Baseball, they're missing outstanding players, superstars, okay? And we've seen the explosion of the international market and players who come over that are unrecognizable because they come from Costa Rica and Venezuela and the Dominican Republic. Hockey dealt with the same problems. I mean, forever hockey was USA and Canada. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden it became Sweden and Russia and, coming from all these other countries, and it's tough to identify with some of these players. I mean, you don't have a Willie Mays right now. You don't have a Barry Bonds right now. You don't have a Ken Griffey Jr. right now. I think that's a Derek Jeter, a Manny Ramirez, a Big Papi. You don't have those type of players right now.
It's a great point. And the one thing that I would say, though, is that the NBA had a lot of that stuff as well, and yet those European players have flourished in the NBA. Whether you're talking about Luka or whether you're talking about the Joker, and you can go on down the line. I just wonder why international players in the NBA become stars, and maybe that's not the case in other sports.
Also, the younger generation, baseball's too boring for them.
Yeah. Well, I know that's why they've done the pitching clock, and they're trying to they put runner on second, extra innings in the regular season. They're trying to do some things, which I appreciate. But, yeah, I mean, the Yankees-Red Sox was terrific theater last night. Hopefully we get more of the same this evening.
The younger generation wants a Lincoln Riley 4-play, 80-yard drive, takes a minute 22 off the clock. I mean, if Jacksonville puts together a 14-play, 75-yard drive, 7 minutes through the clock, I mean, these kids got to do something. They got to go, check their socials, or they got to run. I mean, that's not being a smartass. That's the truth. I mean, everything has changed in front of our eyes, sports related.
It's the day and age we live in. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Must be so easy to prepare for school now with all the ability to Google and see.
Oh, you don't get AB honor roll anymore. You get AI honor roll.
Yeah. well, no, that's true. And my kid's in early kindergarten, first grade type stuff, and he's got an iPad. They do a thing called IXL that he has to do, 40 questions every week, and then they play games on their iPad. I mean, are you kidding? I can't even imagine being 6 years old and having an iPad to do all my work.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, what do you got going on tonight?
Yeah, obviously, all eyes now towards the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to talk more about this. It's really a startling number. I mean, 2 weeks ago, the Jaguars couldn't beat the Houston Texans at home, right? The Texans had won 9 out of 10. Last week, the Jaguars couldn't win a game on the West Coast, only had won 4 in their lifetime. This week, it's the can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs because, Rick, do you realize it's been 5,806 days since the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Kansas City Chiefs? November 8th, 2009 is the last time Jacksonville beat Kansas City in a football game. The Chiefs have won 7 games in a row. Mahomes is undefeated against Jacksonville. And obviously they don't play every year, only 7 meetings in the last 16 years. But wherever you were in November of 2009, that's where you have to go back to find the last time the Jaguars beat these guys.
Wow. Wasn't aware of that. I just got the release today. I was going to look at that tonight watching these games. We'll see. And Mahomes settled back in after throwing only 1 touchdown pass per game in his first 3 games. He threw 4 on Sunday.
One thing, I've talking to some people out in Kansas City. They like their chances on Monday. They did mention this, though. People are looking at that Chiefs win over the Ravens. It said Ravens on the uniform. It had the nice Baltimore logo. John Harbaugh was the head coach. That's not the Baltimore Ravens. They are down this year. They're injured and they're down. So what I was told was, yeah, Kansas City's happy with their performance, but don't take too much out of that because that's not the traditional Baltimore Ravens.
All right, what else tonight for you?
Yeah, Leon Searcy is going to join me. We'll break it down, talk about the Jaguars' 3-1 start. Also, Ryan Roberts, A2ZSports.com, looks at a big weekend of college football, including Florida and Texas. And, of course, your alma mater taking on the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go.
Are you?
I'm leaning towards it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my final decision tomorrow, but I think I'm going to go. Have a great show tonight.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Tim Brandon will join us tomorrow. I will have plenty of reaction from the Jaguars and going to their locker room inside the Miller Electric Center. So make sure you're here for that. Quick reminder, tomorrow night, 6 to 8. And then during high school football season, 4 to 6 on Friday. That'll be on the AM only. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to John Osher. Thank you to you, our producer still in Denmark. I'm Rick Ballou.